Hey folks, I'm Vainglory and welcome to part 12 of my playthrough of the Karbusel campaign in Graviteam Tactics Mius Front. So we are in the 19th of March in the evening. We've had one battle already in this area here. The Soviets took the hill here, I think it's 70.9, and they're now attacking just to the southeast of that area. And it's quite interesting looking at the movement, the Soviet troops, all heading up to northwest. And it looks like they are concentrating their troops for an attack into this region. So supposedly they're going to attack in here, but we'll see if they do. This battle group 5 and potentially battle group 7 were involved in this earlier battle. These guys definitely were. Maybe they weren't. So we're going to be in much better position than we were before, where we had so many depleted infantry units and so few heavy weapons. So anyway, we'll go ahead and we'll fight this battle. Okay, so I've gone straight to the deployment this time out. It's dark, as you can tell, so visibility is going to be limited. And this is a very strange battle this time. As you saw in the tactical map, all these forces were moving up in that sort of direction. Suppose that's up to the northwest. I wouldn't be surprised if this was actually the main attack, because this is Hill 68.2, and back here we've got Crossroads, and 70.4, 70.9. So this is where the previous battle took place, and this battle group here has been heavily involved. So they may well attack here again. But I'm not ruling out attacks down towards the bridge and Strong Point either. I've decided to set up back in amongst all the minefields in our defensive line. And don't worry, we're not actually in the minefields. As you can see, we are skirting around the edges of them. So yeah, the plan will be just to sit back. If the enemy get close, then I've set up so that I can pour as much firepower into them as I'm able to, particularly down around the bridge, if they do attack down this direction. And I've also got, like over here, Hochbein. There he is, Hochbein. There, and Probst here, and up here, whoever that is, Vessel, I think. Yep, so we've got these three platoons back as reserves, so 2 up, one back, sort of set up all across the front down here, and their task will be just to go and reinforce wherever they're needed. We've got some anti-tank up here. I don't know whether we'll see armour. On the tactical map, it did look like, I think from here, armour had moved up in that direction, so they may well swing in. And I've just plumped for having the anti-tank guns set up in here. Let's check it out on the battlefield. So there's no obvious road for them to come in from their positions. So I've set up so that if they attack Hill 68.2, this gun for sure, you should be able to see them. Actually, I want you facing that direction, thank you. Because we've got the other Pak 38 over here that can cover off the road and can be swung around if necessary up there. And we've got the little 45 as well. Covering that area. So that's us, that's our setup. Artillery, interesting thing with artillery this time out, and I can't remember now who it is. Who would it be? Hefner? Yeah, so the spotter for the 8cm mortars is dead. Fortunately, the last target he had was here, so I'm calling in something like 180 rounds on that position. Just have a bombardment going in there for a few minutes, hopefully catch any enemy that advance. And we do have some other artillery down here. So, yeah, but I don't know. I think we might see an attack in here. I'm wondering whether I should extend that over to this side of the river as well. I don't think I'll bother. I think we'll just leave it where it is. Anyway, so that's our setup. So let's go ahead and fight the battle. Okay, so it's pitch black. We're not going to be seeing very much in this battle. Don't know what this will look like when it's uploaded to YouTube. You probably can't see anything just now, but I'm going to use the night vision trick so that we can see some of the action. But so far, no sign of any flares anywhere across the front. The red-grey blinking icons, that indicates that those units have hold fire orders, just to get them to keep their from revealing their locations. And the first action, as usual, is Soviet artillery, and again it's falling behind us. So that's down towards the sort of strong point objective behind our lines. Might get a bit close to some of our HQ units. It's down in this sort of area here. Yep. So as long as it doesn't creep too far northeast, we should be okay. And we see an occasional flare popping up, but don't really spot much. And then you're relying on listening out for machine gun fire. So there are a few Soviets out there. Most of my troops, as you saw, had their hold fire orders, and they will fire when they're attacked or threatened. But for the most part, it's just the machine guns that are opening up at this point of the battle. And you can see that there's not very much return fire coming in from the Russians. We've got one guy over to the right here, one rifleman, taking pot shots, but everybody else is following orders, trying to stay out of harm's way. Actually, they've got a machine gunner there. I think that's him now in the distance. But as you can see, their fire pretty ineffective against us when it's from that range. And up here to the north at Hill 68, I thought that was an infantry section, but I realised it was actually the crew for our little 45. So the gun is out of action, and that crew had taken up a forward position, so I've given them orders to pull back to the main defensive line. Hopefully they can do that without too much damage. This is where they are up here. So the Soviets are coming in up here at Hill 68 and over to the northeast as well. I've called in more mortar rounds on that fixed position that we had, because that's where the attacks, or some of the attacks, seems to be coming from. Over here we've got a tank inbound, and it's not too far away from where I've got my anti-tank guns, but you can see already we've lost 3 of our machine guns over in this position. Another flare pops up, so there's one of the decrewed machine guns, I suppose. The Soviets are determined to push in here. Now that there are more of them, they're getting a bit closer. Most of my infantry are beginning to return fire. And the tank is moving in the background. You can just about make it out. Well, I can just about make it out. You can see the symbol, but there it is. It's another Churchill. So I don't know if this is actually from the same unit that we encountered the last time. Let's see if we can get any artillery in here. That's not great. Some incendiary would be good if we could land on the tank, but that's not going to be 520 metres scatter. I'm not going for that. Even that's 320. So I don't think we'll be doing that. Tank's still on the way in that direction though. let's call in some flares. Scatter doesn't matter so much with them. I mean, that's a bit excessive though. If we could get just down a wee bit further, so to give us some vision on the tank, although, well, that would be good, 60 metres. But the tank's heading away from our anti-tank position. And get this machine gun to hold fire. Try and get everything down here to just hold fire, because it would just be meat drink to the tank. There we go. And of course, having given everything hold fire orders, my flares are now coming in and lighting everything up, giving away our positions. And there's absolutely no point having good sight of the tank when we don't have anything to attack it with. So cancelled the rest of the flares, and our guys return to the darkness. The tank still sees somebody though. It's maybe that machine gun position, if they're still firing. If we could only get a bit... Well, we can use this position here, now that the tank's moved further south. Do I go with incendiary? Or... I think we'll just go with high explosive for now. We'll cancel that one. And that should land just about on top of the tank, I would hope, if it doesn't move too much further. It's still slowly creeping south, and we've got a mortar team here that is out in the open, and it's engaging infantry, I think. Looks like they're going to get wiped out. The tank seems to have spotted them. It's not really engaging the mortar though. Just waiting for this high explosive to come in and try and... there we go. It's taking them out now, although they're still in action. So yeah, the high explosive should be coming in. I suppose the tank has continued to creep south, so the barrage might miss it. Yeah, I think you can see it landing now up to the north. Yeah, there it is. So that's our artillery landing up there, just to the left of the screen. The tank is now moved down here, so can we march this a wee bit further south? That would do. Let's take that, and I think I will go with some incendiaries this time. Get a few incendiaries on top of them, and then follow that up with high X. And yeah, we'll go with that. We'll cancel that other mission. So fortunately the tank's not doing too much damage down here. We've got somebody charging into the right of the tank. Is he trying to assault it? Yeah, he's chucking grenades at a Churchill. Well done you. As long as its turret's facing the other way and you don't lie down behind it, you should survive. And these guys going to do the same. This is crazy. So that's a grenade just popped off. I want to see the incendiaries land. And there's a dead body just flown up towards the tank. But we'll tell when the incendiaries come in. There's no mistaking them, especially in the dark. And they should light up this scene for us quite quickly. There we go. It's not too far away. And another one closer to the tank there. Unfortunately, it's quite close to my troops as well, especially those guys that charged forward. Direct hit would be lovely. And that tank is moving fast. I think it's withdrawing. Yeah, I don't think they like it down there. I think they're off. So, looks like the artillery's done this job. And I can cancel that high explosive barrage that was due to come in. The tank's not hanging around. Pity we didn't land a shell right on top of it though. So cancel the high X. Looks like the tank's heading right for that gap in our lines though, but that's up towards where we do have some anti-tank cover, depending on how far north it heads. You see up on hill 68, there's a strong push coming in against us now, and there's also another tank up here too. So I want these guys just to pull back. There's no point trying to hold the hill when there's a tank coming in. So I'll try and get these guys back into defensive positions closer to our anti-tank guns. And this is the, in the background you can see the Churchill that ran away from the incendiaries coming directly towards this anti-tank gun, which I have ordered to turn and face it. And they're completely ignoring my order. I wondered if it was just taking some time to filter through, but no, here we go. A wee bit of movement. Does the tank's turret's still facing away from them, so they might be lucky if they can turn around and get a side shot, but they're not. They've stopped moving the gun. And they're going to get flattened by that tank. It looks like it's going to head right over them. The turret's swinging round. You guys really need to... In fact, turning and shooting wouldn't really do anything. 50mm gun against a Churchill's front armour. It's not going to penetrate. This is torturous. Oh, they didn't spot them. You might survive. So yeah, don't turn and fire at them. I wondered if the dugout, or the shell hole or whatever it is that the gun's in, is preventing it from turning to engage the tank. So I'd given it orders to try and pull it out of there into a slightly different position, but they seem to be ignoring that order as well. And if they just turn 180 degrees, they would have a perfect flank shot. Looks like the other anti-tank gun might be engaging it. That was definitely a... Yeah, that's definitely anti-tank rounds that are hitting it now. They got... Oh, don't... No, they didn't spot the gun again. But that other gun is definitely engaging. Unfortunately, it's now engaging front on. So their only hope is to damage the gun, take out the sights so that they can't target them. Looks like it's still not spotted the gun. No, I'll probably spot it now. I'll get some good direct hits on it. Obviously, close range. Is that the end of the gun? No, still in action. Yes, so just every round looks like it's hitting. It's just no chance of penetration. Have they knocked it out? They might have knocked out the crew. Still some small arms going into the flank. No, it's... They've woken up if they were knocked out. And that was almost a direct hit. The crew's not suppressed, so why are they not returning fire? And this gun here, I've given it orders to turn. I've set the tank as a priority target, but they're just not having it. You can see the wee cross there, that's designating priority target. And we just refuse any orders to turn. That's the only... Are they going to do it now? No, I think they're blocked from turning the gun to face that direction. No, So that other gun looks like, yeah, it's knocked out. Wasn't any more fire coming in from it, so I figured it had been taken out. But the Churchill has lost a track. Back over in the Hill 68. You can see the other in the background there, the other Churchill. It's just doing a hell of a lot of damage. You can see the number of grey dots around. It's corpses, and I think most of them probably are from the Churchill's machine gun. So again, trying to get these guys to fall further back. Try and preserve at least some of them. And I reckon we're going to lose Hill 68. The anti-tank guns are too far away to be effective against them. So just pull the infantry back, take up defensive positions further back here, and I'm going to move Vessels platoon up there for a bit of support. There doesn't seem to be much happening down there, so up here is now where the main attack is. Still hold the hill though. This tank still there, but nothing happening on the rest of the front. But I suppose, actually thinking about it, that the gun's not engaging the tank, but the tank also is not engaging the gun. Maybe they can't see each other. So we've got Vessels platoon, we'll take them into a defensive position when they move up. And this flare gives us a chance to have a look around the gun's position, and the tank's disappeared. So I think there's actually a glitch, and it was more the fact that they couldn't see each other for some strange reason. Well, lots of death and carnage up here. Looks like we've lost that whole platoon near enough. Over here where the other attack was coming in, there doesn't seem to be anything happening at all now. We've got Vessels troops getting close to position. Still hold Hill 68, but the tank's sitting right on top of it. But there's a ceasefire. No, we still hold all of the objective points. Hill 68 and the bridge, strong point. So we'll accept a ceasefire then. I wonder. No, I'm not going to push any men up to try and make sure we hold the hill. But we've lost enough up here as it is. Kaufmann's not too bad, but Clem... no, Kaufmann... Can't see where that guy is. Clem's platoon, yeah, it's almost completely wiped out. And over here, there's a few casualties, but it's not looking too bad. Who is this? Yeah, Stabler. Yeah, so a few from those sections, down to about 50%. But in the rest of the line, not many casualties at all. So overall not too bad. We might lose the hill, but we've not lost much ground. And this gun, definitely, it's got ammo, so it must be they just, for some reason, couldn't see each other. Anyway, so minor defeat. We lost 20% of the ground. 1.2 victory points, I think that is. And casualties 72 for us, 126 for the Soviets. And vehicles we damaged. We've captured a tank, but we've lost 9. Is that guns, I suppose? And in terms of the actual casualties, they lost an awful lot of command and infantry again. Quite a few heavy weapons themselves. Spotters, and they lost 2 tanks. That's good. And we've captured 1 of them. So hopefully it's not too badly damaged and we can put it to good use. Let's have a look back on the battlefield. Okay, so here's the tank up by our Pak 38. So it took plenty of hits, a lot of them small arms fire, and lost its track, and then it was abandoned. I'm not seeing any obvious penetrations. So, and even looking at, I don't see much in the way of sights, broken sights, and the like. Small arm fire, yep. No obvious penetrations at all from that angle, or from here. Radio broken. So if we can repair that track, we might have a working tank. That would be useful. Up on hill 68, this tank here didn't take any hits at all, so that stays in Russian hands. But we have lost hill 68, as you can see. Lost the hill itself, but we should hold that square still. Okay, fine, let's go back to the operational map then. Okay, so at the moment it doesn't look like we've lost any ground, but we'll see what happens. We definitely did lose the hill, obviously, but now we move on. We can't even see what the damage is to these units until we've completed the turn. So we're now up here. I think this is tanks. We've got units up here that are damaged to one extent or another. And is this a new unit they've just brought in? So I think these two units were the newer units that are brought in from reserve. So they've got some anti-tank guns, probably Pak 38s. But it's more the heavy weapons that I'm interested in if we're facing mostly infantry. So anyway, yeah, we'll go ahead fight this battle in the next part. So for now, thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this. Please leave me a comment, rate the video, and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the content. And I hope to see you again next time. Cheers!